Factor.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Laura Ingram, in for Bill O'Reilly. And in the Impact segment tonight, more state officials coming forward saying that they're set to sue in federal court if Obamacare becomes law. But do these legal challenges have any merit? Joining us now from New York is Fox business correspondent Elizabeth MacDonald, who's been researching this issue, and from Chicago, trial attorney Kelly Sandin. Ladies, it's great to see you. I want to start with you, Elizabeth. I've heard that there's going to be a Commerce Clause challenge, basically saying that Congress, despite how loosey-goosey the Commerce Clause has become over the years, that now Congress has gone a step too far with mandating that people purchase a product, namely health insurance. What do you say?
Yeah, you just laid out what could be a Supreme Court challenge. You're going to hear it first here on your show, Laura. And what's going on is this. Even the Congressional Budget Office in 1994 said having an insurance mandate in Hillary Care would have been an unprecedented expansion of the Congress's powers, of the U.S. government's powers to regulate interstate commerce. In other words, forcing you to buy a good or service, meaning health insurance. And more than that, there is nothing in the Constitution that says the U.S. government can regulate you for doing nothing, meaning not buying insurance, meaning you have to pay a fine. So what are they going to do next? Regulate couch potatoes for doing nothing? I mean, this is unprecedented. You will likely see a Supreme Court challenge. In World War II, taxpayers were never forced to buy U.S. war bonds. You know, people were not forced to, build tanks. People were not forced to grow wheat, during World War II. And I raise that issue because this challenge has come up again and again and again, and it's been shot down. This is going to be one of the hottest legal controversies coming out of the health reform debate.
I'll say people like Mike McConnell and other esteemed constitutional scholars have been writing about it. Kelly, Idaho, South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, states' attorneys generals are looking into this issue, threatening lawsuits, seriously considering what they can do because they feel like they're already being crushed.
They're doing it under the Interstate Commerce Clause, and that is quite different.
Court.
And you never have been in this country been mandated or forced to buy any good or service as a legal condition to be a U.S. citizen. So this is the most serious issue. And we talk about due process clauses and what have you. That also has been challenged. You and the due process clause, you have a right to medical self-determination. The Supreme Court addressed that in the 90s, Laura.
Well,
under the due process clause.
Right. Can we move on to just the next issue, because otherwise we'll be stuck on this issue. What about the deem and pass rule, which has been such a hot topic this week? We have other state attorneys generals who are saying, look, we're going to challenge that. If you guys go through and push this thing through with that law, Virginia Attorney General wrote a letter to the House this week and said, we're going to do everything we can to challenge what you're doing on the federal level. We as states still retain our power and our authority. And I don't know if they're going to be citing 10th Amendment concerns, but clearly the states are not going to take this lying down. What if a state wants to opt out of this, Elizabeth?
Yeah,
just opt out. We're not in it. We don't want the federal money. We don't want anything that's going to come our way. We can't afford this, and we think this is a travesty. What if states just say, make us?
Well, if they try to opt out, what could happen is they'll hold over the Damocles sword of not getting Medicaid funding for their unfunded, for what's going on in the states. And look, the issue is that you bring up is what can the Congress mandate next? So they're going to mandate that, you buy automobiles to support the automakers and the bailouts. And the other issue, too, with this is, any kind of a mandate, what do they do with the tax revenues? Are you going to see a lockbox for this insurance mandate or the penalties and fines? Probably not. So, I'll tell you something, Laura. You are right on the money here. This is the possible Supreme Court challenge. I'm hearing it coming out of Washington from legal experts. They're